Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of GodSaw's Turnbuckle, the wrestling video podcast that I am running here on youtube.com/UC Campbell, looking to change the name to kind of represent everything in the terms of the names and everything that go along with it, but that is for a different time and a different place. But this episode of GodSaw's Turnbuckle is going to focus around WWE NXT on August the 30th, 2017. And honestly, this is a pretty good show. It was kind of promo heavy in certain areas, but you also got two really good matches on this show, with including the main event, and also finally going into more storyline progression versus what you usually get at the end of an NXT, the week after NXT Takeover, in that sense of everything. So right at the beginning of the show, you had a camera outside, you had a camera guy outside, and basically he was like, they just showed Sanity and a bunch of security guys all laid out in the parking lot area, something in that sense. Like, you had students that were kind of just milling about and everything to go along with it, and you had Regal checking everything out. So it's kind of one of those things that are leading you to believe that it was just basically Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, and Bobby Fish. Like, the announcers kind of threw that out there, at least Percy Watson did. I like how Nigel McGuinness, though, kind of shot it down. It's like, well, we didn't see who did it, so why are you just assuming? Though it comes to fruition at the end of the show, basically, who had done everything. But in the in-ring area, to start off the show, it was just like one of those nice little touches that you had, you know, Percy Watson basically saying, it's like, oh, it's got to be these guys. But it's like, you have Nigel kind of putting a shadow of doubt in there. Maybe it's somebody else. But you would lead to assume exactly where that story was going to end up going throughout the rest of the night, or at least at the end of the night, to go along with everything. Like I said, we'll talk about that a little bit later on. And things come to fruition at the end of the show. Up next, though, you have Drew McIntyre coming out, basically cuts a promo on winning the title, and just literally calls everyone out. It's like, this is going to be like giving his mission statement. It's like, whoever wants it, just step up to me, and I will give you your match. So Roderick Strong is the one that comes out saying that he's going to take care of Bobby Roode tonight, and then he's coming for the title, which of course got Drew McIntyre really happy. He's like, okay, exactly, this is exactly what I wanted. Someone to step up to me like a man and challenge me straight to a match. So actually pretty good segment. I like this segment, and kind of leading to potentially a Roderick Strong and a Drew McIntyre match down the line here. And it'll be interesting to see if a lot of people are kind of assuming that Roderick Strong is going to try to join these guys with Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Bobby Fish, all these guys. And it seems that it could be that way. They had some like backstage stuff, not on the TV show, but on other sides, that kind of leads you to believe into something in that sense. But it'll be interesting to see how everything ends up playing out down the line here. Up next, though, before we get into Ruby Riot and Peyton Royce, you had a Bobby Roode interview. And this is proper Bobby Roode, or Bobby Roode that you knew in NXT, and what we ended up kind of liking, though it seems like they're going a different direction on the main roster. Basically, Roode says he doesn't leave unfinished business. He was gonna beat Roderick Strong tonight. Then he was gonna reclaim his NXT title, and he was gonna take it to SmackDown. In that sense, so they even make the aspects of, you know, Roode already being at SmackDown, everything in that sense to go along with it, to play off of it, and it was just a nice little way of going, nice little interview segment. So this brings us to the Peyton Royce Ruby Riot match. First of all, you did have a little bit of change in look and everything, like Titantrons. Titantrons were kind of changing throughout the night. Peyton Royce definitely had a new look to her Titantron to go along with it. But just, you saw different looks throughout the night, mainly just in the terms of Titantrons and how things look. They're kind of like either upping it or just changing it around a little bit to give it a bit of a different feel, a different look. And in some cases, I actually kind of liked it. Like, the one for Peyton Royce was pretty good. I don't remember Ruby Riot's Titantron off the top of my head, so I don't know if they exactly changed it in that sense. It was just something I had noticed throughout that entire time. But otherwise, for this match, this was the other match of the night that I said this was a good match with Peyton, Royce, Ruby Riot. Both of them working a pretty good match in this one. Very enjoyable to watch and everything in that sense. Peyton Royce actually showing that she's pretty good in the ring, or she's getting even better in the ring to go along with the way that she plays her character throughout the entire time as well. So yeah, like overall, I thought this was a good match. I liked the finish came with Billie Kay pulling out Ruby Riot with the referee distracted and gives her a big boot that made like the crowd gasp. It was one of those things that's like, oh, that actually looked really good, and like Ruby Riot took a hard fall to go along with it, and it just came off as a really good, really enjoyable match on the program. And I won't even say it's interesting that they had Peyton Royce go over, because they're kind of playing a story that Ruby Riot a few weeks ago had beaten Billie Kay. Now Peyton Royce has gotten a win over Ruby Riot, so they're kind of 1-1 in the terms of that sense of everything. So it could be, are they setting up a tag match, or are they setting up a handicap match? Where are they going to go with this? And we'll see where everything goes off with it. It could be an interesting one, and I think it would be a nice way if they decided to go with Regal's like, Ruby Riot, find yourself a tag team partner and I'll give you this match with Billie Kay and Peyton Royce, and then she'll be like, no, I don't want a tag team partner, I can take them both on myself, to try to set up a handicap match or something to go along with it. It would be an interesting way to going, just kind of me kind of trying to semi-book. Obviously I'm not the booker or anything to go along with it, just playing it off in my head, and we'll just see where they end up going with everything in that sense. But otherwise, good match. Very enjoyable match. Up next, you had a Regal interview where Cassius comes in. And he was, like, Regal was essentially trying to talk a little bit about what had happened earlier. But Regal comes in, or not Regal, but Cassius comes in. And just in this, like, casual conversation, the way Cassius comes off, he's like, he wants a match with Hideo Itami, everything in that sense. Regal's like, okay, this seems like a good idea, everything to go along with it, and just like casually, Cassius is like, you know what? One more thing though, Itami, we saw how that last match ended. I don't want that to end that way this time. Can we make it a no DQ match? And Regal just like with this grin on his face, like, you got it, man, you got it. Just like Cassius comes off as just the either like the most like just chill guy about most everything, or just the most casual, chill or casual, they're kind of the same thing, but he just comes off as that guy is like, yeah, we didn't even really need a script for this one, I just like, this is what we did, this is what we do. It's almost like it came off as a legit casual conversation between the both of them, which leads to a match with Hideo Itami and Cassius in a no disqualification match. I thought the segment was good. Honestly, I thought the segment was good. Up next, you had Heavy Machinery going up against a couple jobbers. Quick match, and apparently they have a new catchphrase, which is shakes and waits. Not 100% certain on that one. These guys do pull off some interesting maneuvers and everything, but I'm not 100% behind these guys. Though they are fun to watch in a certain sense. I guess you're waiting for them to have more of a. Wait a second. You're waiting for them to have more of a full-on program with another team that wasn't just like that quick program that they had with the Authors of Pain for the tag team titles a while back. So you're just kind of waiting for a little bit more out of them, and we'll see if that's going to be the case, or if they are just going to be kind of these guys who come out there and squash jobbers, look impressive, and then don't really do much of anything after that. So, we had another Regal segment right before the main event. Regal was in the office with Lars Sullivan, and he was like, yeah, we're done with this tag team thing. You're not going to be doing that. He basically kind of going over everything Lars had been doing, like destroying his old tag team partners, what he had done to No Way Jose the week before with interrupting the Congo line and to go along with it. So Regal says the next week, these ramifications. So next week, you're going to have a 3-on-1 handicap match. Lars kind of just smiles, walks out. Lars is going to be that guy. It's like Lars, is going to be kind of that guy you feel is going to be the destroyer of the NXT locker room. Just got a guy who's going to go out there and just destroy everybody who's going to get in his path. So now they're going to get away from this whole tag team thing for him, which was an interesting setup to kind of go into his singles destroyer type career, that he had destroyed his old tag team partners after losing matches because of what had happened. Though you'll also see in other segments, like backstage segments, you don't see it necessarily in the ring areas all that much, is that he's kind of this chill guy that just overreacts. Like to his first tag team partner that he destroyed, he goes back there and apologizes to him after doing that, and it was like I got carried away, everything in that sense. Also, like, he was having a interview backstage before his No Way Jose bit, and he was talking to the interviewer, and the music's going on in the background, and he's like, I apologize, it's not you, it's just this music. And he just storms off, and it's like it snaps like that. He's like this calm, chill guy, and then he snaps into this rage-induced type destroyer at a moment's notice. So he's got like he's got this cool, calm, collected, like well-spoken type manner about him, and then he just snaps into a guy. Like I said, he snaps into this guy that does that. It's an interesting way of going about it, and it'll be interesting to see where they go with this with Lars Sullivan. Does he just come off as a destroyer, or does he have something a little bit more about him down the line? And we'll be seeing a little bit more. I assume we're going to get more of the destroyer next week than we're going to get anything else in the terms of his character. But you've seen it in other like backstage segments that they have with Lars Sullivan, that he has a little bit more about him than just, I'm going to go out there and destroy everything, or I'm angry that we lost, so I'm going to destroy this guy to go along with it. So we'll see how everything plays off with Lars Sullivan down the line here, but I'm kind of liking what I've seen so far. So this brings us to the main event of the night, which was Roderick Strong and Bobby Roode. Oh man, this is a good match. This was a good match in a different style of match for Bobby Roode. Usually he plays off of a more methodical pace, everything in that sense. He was doing a more fast-paced style on this night, working with Roderick Strong. And it came off really good. This is one of those times Bobby Roode kind of showed a little bit more of what he can do, and we're getting also Roderick Strong doing more of those more variations of his backbreaker that he does throughout the entire time. Just match overall, great match, good from beginning to end, and as I said, worked at a good fast pace to go along with everything. And I do like the storytelling that Roderick Strong was doing throughout that time. He had felt disrespected the entire time by Bobby Roode, to his family, everything in that sense, that when he finally hit his finisher on him in the middle of the ring, he would have easily gotten the victory. But no, he needed a little bit more, did it a second time, and then gained the 1, 2, 3. So after the match, and also one more thing. Before he did the second finisher, he blew a kiss goodbye to Bobby Roode. He's like, this is going to be the last time we see Bobby Roode on NXT, because he's going full on to SmackDown. So a nice little touch that they put at the end of the match there. So after the match, they don't do a lot of focusing on like Bobby Roode or anything in that sense. As a matter of fact, after the match, you don't really even see a picture of him, though you do hear "Thank you, Bobby" chants to go along with it, but they don't do anything afterwards with that, because they were focusing in on this aspect of Roderick Strong and Drew McIntyre. So Drew McIntyre comes out after the match, holds up the title, saying, it's like, okay, you and me are eventually going to happen. And then Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Bobby Fish attack Drew McIntyre, take him out on the stage, and then security comes in as well, and they kind of take out a couple security guys as they decide to leave and back off, and they start saying, it's like, this is our NXT now, this is our NXT, not going to be anyone else's NXT. To go as they're leaving, as Regal kind of briskly walks them down, and as they basically leave the arena in a car, getting themselves out of there, Regal kind of stares them down with this like extremely angry look. It'll be an interesting way to see where they're going with this and what they're going to end up calling this team down the line. Or are they going to even give this group a name? Are they just an invading group? Or that's how they're portraying them. It's just an invading group that wants to kind of cause a little bit of chaos throughout the NXT realm. So it'll be interesting to see where they go with O'Reilly, Fish, and Adam Cole. And it will be one of those bits that, like I said, will they be adding Roderick Strong in there? There's a couple videos that kind of say it's like that maybe this is a possibility, or maybe they don't go that route. We'll see where they go with everything on that side of it. So yeah, that's pretty much everything. I thought this NXT was a rather enjoyable one. It was good to get back to the more storytelling aspects that they were going for and setting up for next title matches, everything to go along with that down the line. So yeah, rather enjoyable NXT this week. So that's pretty much everything I have for you this week on the NXT side. So I thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do enjoy this video, obviously, and you've stuck around this long, yeah, go ahead and give it a like, comment, do whatever you guys want. I try not to ask for that too often, but I'm gonna kind of start throwing that out there every now and again now. So again, if you guys did enjoy the video, do whatever you like on that side of everything. I thank you guys for watching, and have a great rest of your day.